It's just as easy to lose a Notion page as it is to create one. That can be very frustrating for beginners. I know it was for me. So in this video, I'll break down how Notion pages actually work and how you can set them up so that you can always know where to find them. Let's go.
Now you might be wondering, what are pages? So you can think of Notion pages as blank containers where we can add different types of information and links, kind of like a web page or a Google Doc. There's a few reasons why you might be confused with how pages work in Notion. The first main reason is their nesting nature. Notion pages can exist at different places and at different levels. In fact, it's better to think of them as containers that contain not just information, but also other pages. So I'm going to use boxes as an analogy to further explain this. Let's look at this sidebar right here, where it contains all the pages that I have. Here are the different places a Notion page can exist. At the highest level, we can call it level 1. It's like a big box that contains medium boxes inside it. So right here, we're at page demo 1, and I appropriately put boxes as a background image here. Imagine you go one level lower than that. At level 2, when I expand this further down, it's like a medium box inside the large box. And even within that medium box, you can contain small boxes at level 3, and actually it can also contain even smaller boxes inside. But you see, each box doesn't just contain smaller boxes inside them. They can also have other stuff inside. Just like a real box, you might have other items like text, links to other pages, more text, body text, images, and things you can embed. By the way, you can keep nesting pages forever. Like as you can see here at level 3, I can go even lower and I can have more pages. It just so happened that it doesn't have any pages inside. But I suggest that you don't go too far. My setups, for example, usually just go about 2 levels deep. I think that's more than enough to organize my different pages and information accordingly in Notion. All right, reason number 2 why you might be confused about how pages work in Notion is because you get them confused with databases. You see, there's one more place where Notion pages can exist, and that's within a database. For example, I have a database demo here. If I click inside, we're now inside this database. These rows represent pages within the database itself. If I click on any of these rows, what we call database entries, it opens that page. And you can click this to go full page. And this is where the confusion can start. If you're a beginner, now you're deep inside a database page and you don't know where you came from, right? So let's go back out. If I were to select another page here and another, they just keep opening up those pages within a database. The thing is, within a database, all these pages are hidden from the sidebar. So as you can see, when I expand this database page, there are no pages that are listed from here to here. Like they don't exist in the sidebar. They are self-contained within the database itself. But okay, I won't go too deep into databases since it deserves its own video. Long story short, if you ever lose track of a page, chances are you might have been looking inside a database all this while. Okay, with that out of the way, the next question you might have in mind is, how do you create pages in Notion? There are several ways you can create pages in Notion. The first and easiest way is to click on the pencil icon here at the sidebar, way on top. You click that, you'll have a new page, and let's just give it an exciting title. That's page. The next way to create a page in Notion is to click the plus button or the add button. When you look at the sidebar, you can hover your mouse over this private section here and click on the add a page button. And again, let's give it an exciting title. Test page again. And you won't see it here because it's probably buried deep within all the pages that I've got here. So if I click more, you can see it's down here in the long list of pages I've ever created in Notion. Another way is to hover your mouse on another page. So let's say in page 1 demo here, if I close this, and expand, you'll see there's two things inside. There's page demo 2 and database demo. That's the child of this demo 1, right? If I click plus, I'll add a page underneath once again. Test page one more time. And you can see that now there's a third page underneath page demo 1. It's now a child of that parent page. Okay, you can also use the slash command in Notion. So I can go into this page and just type slash page, hit enter. Again, we have a new page. Oh, the titles just get more exciting. Test page within a page. If I hit back out here, this test page, I created a test page within this test page, and I can actually click it and it opens it, right? You go directly inside that page, within the page. I know, confusing, hang in there. Now, you might have created pages everywhere and you might want to reorganize your pages. You can actually move your Notion page around. Here's how you can move the page. Hit to the sidebar in Notion and click and drag this into wherever you want it to be. For example, I moved it inside page demo 2. And when I expand it, that's not just page demo 3 anymore. There's also test page one more time, which I've moved, right? And the cool part is you can also move it up a level. You can take it outside that page. If I take this test page one more time, hold and drag, I can even make it as same level as the page demo level 1. Maybe it's easy if I drag it here. And yeah, you can see that this is now, I'll just favorite it. Okay, now you can see that this is at the same level as the page demo 1. It's no longer inside. Next, you can also link to other pages. And there's a few ways you can create a quick link between these pages. You can copy paste the URL of this page. So I can right click on the tab of a page. I can copy link. I can go to this page. I just copy paste as a mention or URL. You can choose, right? If I put it as a mention, it's like a backlink. So I can now click this and it'll teleport/open the page that I have embedded. I can also go to this page on the sidebar, right click, copy link that way. And I can go to this page. I can also use it as a URL and it will display in this format. And when I click, it's gonna open that page. Now within the page, there are some basic customization you can do. There's a lot of things you can customize, but I'll just stick to the simple ones here. So for example, let's head to the new page that we have just now, test page one more time. So we can select this entire title here and change it. When you hover above a title, there's a few things. For example, you can put an icon. Let's say this one here. You can hover, click add cover image. There's a default image that will be here, but you can change it either by uploading or adding a link. You can go to Unsplash and you can type and search for the stock images that's included in Notion. You can also remove it by pressing this button here. You can also add all sorts of formats for the content of your Notion pages, but we'll go through that in a separate video because it can be a long video on its own. So stay tuned for that. After creating lots of pages in Notion and moving them around, it can be quite hard to keep track of them, especially if you're new to Notion. Here are a few tips for you to keep track of your Notion pages. Tip number 1 is check the sidebar. Obviously, this is the easiest tip because you can see things around here and where they are. You can even click more and this will load more pages. In fact, it will load every single page that you have in a long list. You can also close this back. And if you ever lose sight of the sidebar, you can just click this button up here and it will pop back right in. Another way to keep track of Notion pages is through the breadcrumbs. So let's say I go deep into one of these pages. Let's go to page 3. If you notice at the top left, we are here, page 3 demo. And then above it is page demo 2. And above that is page demo 1. This is what we call a breadcrumb. So it's like a trail and it represents something similar to the sidebar here. Sometimes you might be collapsing this on the sidebar, so at least you can refer back to the breadcrumb on the top left. And when you click on them, you will instantly go there. You can also use the search function in Notion. The shortcut is Control P, and you can type, awesome page to find it. I can also type test page. I think that's one of the pages I was looking for. And when you click on it, it'll open those pages instantly. Another way to keep track of pages is to add them to favorites, just like a bookmark. You can go to any of your pages in the private section in Notion, right click, add to favorites, and boom, it'll be on top here. You can rearrange it as well, whichever sequence you want. That makes it easier for you to keep track of them. You can remove it by right clicking and remove from favorites to keep it clean, because you don't want too many things in your favorites, because that will just lose its purpose. Last but not least, if you can't keep track of your page, you don't know where it went, most likely it's a database page that you were looking at before. So let's head back to our database here. You can go inside and see sometimes where it came from was actually one of these database entries. So you might have been viewing it like this, check the breadcrumb, and you'll see that, oh, this came from a database demo. Click back, this is where it came from. And you can find the other pages and other entries of that database as well.
By the way, I'll be making more Notion 101 videos like this one, and I'll be making them into a playlist right here. But in the meantime, you can check out this other video right here.